Today I'm talking about how we've started the Ferber Method. Our baby is now 9.5 months old, and we were initially against doing any sort of sleep training because she's pretty good. We can put her down and she won't cry necessarily when we put her down. It's more at night. She still wakes up twice a night. Sometimes once, but it's pretty rare, and mama's getting tired. So a little background on the baby. She is pretty good falling asleep on her own. She has been for several months, maybe since she was 2 to 3 months. She did have a sleep progression around 4.5 months up to maybe 6 months old, where she would wake up 3 to sometimes 8, but mostly 5 times a night, which was horrible. But we were able to get past that, thankfully. But we never really got past the waking up twice a night. And when she does wake up, she will nurse. So she's breastfed. She will nurse twice. I've tried only nursing one side, but if I put her down after that, after only one side, she'll cry. I would usually do both sides and then put her down, and then she would wake up another like 3 to 4 hours later to nurse again. She is breastfed. She drinks milk and a little bit of formula. Sometimes we do a little bit of a top up at night before she goes to sleep, just because I was trying to get her really full before she goes to sleep, so she would sleep longer, but it didn't actually work. She's been sleeping in her own room since she was 7 months old, and she's sleeping in a crib. She eats solid food, sometimes a lot, sometimes not that much throughout the day, especially now she's teething a lot, so she's not eating as much. But that is basically her background. The reason why we didn't want to do any sort of sleep training before was because I thought since she can fall asleep on her own, she would eventually just figure it out. And it's 9.5 months now that I and my partner, we haven't really had a really good night's sleep in such a freaking long time. I think we got maybe 8-9 hours, but I can count those nights on one hand, so it's not great. Right until recently, I thought she's gonna figure it out on her own. If she's full, if she has eaten enough, she'll just sleep through the night. And I don't believe that anymore. And this is why we started sleep training last night. I've read that her stomach is now big enough, since she was 6 months old, to last through the night. So if she eats enough, she could totally last through the night and not be hungry until the morning. 2, she's such a new person. Like, she is 9.5 months of life, and she does not know that she's supposed to sleep through the night. Like, maybe in her mind it's just a habit that she'll wake up twice a night and she'll nurse and then she'll go back to sleep. And if we don't show her that that's not what we do anymore, then she might just continue to do that, and that's not ideal. So what we started last night is the Ferber Method. It's basically where you will let the baby cry short periods of time at a time throughout the night if they wake up and cry, but you will once in a while go and check on them and just make sure that they know they're not abandoned and you still love them and they're safe. So I'm gonna put what the Ferber Method schedule is. It's basically you start the first day and you go and check on baby after 3 minutes of crying, and then you come back. You only stay there for like a minute or two. Just what I did was just like saying, hey, like, it's time to sleep now. I love you. You're safe. I love you. You're safe. And I repeated that just to make sure that she knew that. And then I left. And then obviously that makes it worse because now you've entered the room and left them on their own. And then after that, you go back to their room to check on them. after 5 minutes, and then every 10 minutes from that point on. So that's what we did last night, and it lasted 2 hours, give or take 10 minutes. And it was hard. I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do. Based on the points that I mentioned earlier, I think it's the best thing to do for her. I think it is for me as well. You know, I'm human too. I need some sleep, and it's been 9.5 months, and I would like to sleep better. And it's also better for us. I feel like if I can sleep better, if she can sleep better, then we can just have more energy to do things during the day together and to do some activities. And I think that's just going to help the both of us. So we did that last night. She cried for 2 hours, and then she slept through the rest of the night, so about 4.5 hours. And she woke up in the morning. Obviously my boobs were absolute rock hard, and she drank most of them, which is great. So she had a pretty good breakfast. And then an hour and a half later, she had a solid breakfast. She's teething, so she's not eating that much anymore, but she still had a little bit of food. One of my concerns was, is she gonna be more distant? Is she gonna be mad at me or something for doing that to her? And she didn't seem to have anything wrong with her. She was cuddly and sweet and just her usual self. So far, and it's only been one night so far, yeah, it's tough to hear her cry for a long period of time, but going to see her and reassure her that she's, you know, she has our support and she's loved and she's safe, and make sure that she doesn't feel abandoned or something like that, makes me feel better, definitely. And so far I feel like it's a success so far, but I'll keep y'all updated when we get some results. I don't know what tonight is gonna look like. I've read that it has to get worse before it gets better, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's just a quick update on Ferber Method sleep training of a 9.5 months old. I don't have any doubts that things will get better, and it's pretty exciting. So that's it for today. Take care. Bye.